Step into a major US airport in July 2025, and you'll immediately sense that something is very different this summer. The usual energy, the anticipation of adventure, and the hum of travelers are all missing. Instead, there's a strange, almost unsettling calm that hangs in the air. The bustling crowds that once filled every corner are nowhere to be seen. Security lines, which used to snake through the terminal, have vanished. The echo of rolling suitcases and laughter is replaced by silence. Where there was once a constant flow of vacationers and international visitors, now there are empty check-in desks and silent gates. The familiar buzz of summer travel has faded into a quiet that feels almost surreal. This isn't just a slow day or a temporary lull, it's a dramatic, nationwide shift that's impossible to ignore. Gate agents stand by with little to do, and food courts that once bustled with families and travelers now sit eerily empty. The vibrant energy that defined summer travel has simply vanished. From the iconic terminals of JFK to the smallest regional airports, this emptiness stretches across the country, touching every corner of the aviation network. It's a question on everyone's mind. Why are America's airports deserted during what should be the busiest time of year? Millions of travelers have changed their plans. It's not just that more Americans are choosing to drive instead of fly, there's a deeper story unfolding. Families are canceling long-awaited vacations, business trips are being postponed, and even frequent flyers are rethinking their routines. International tourists, who once spent billions in the US each summer, are staying away in record numbers, leaving baggage claims and arrival halls empty. The reasons behind this dramatic change are complex, ranging from airline decisions and soaring ticket prices to a shifting political climate and new travel restrictions. But this isn't just about travel plans. The ripple effects are being felt throughout the economy, threatening the livelihoods of millions who depend on tourism and air travel. So, what's really behind the empty airports of America this summer, and what does it mean for the future of the country? Let's take a closer look at this unprecedented shift. 3 million international tourists have canceled trips to the US this summer. That's a $12 billion loss for airlines, hotels, restaurants, and local businesses. Families from Europe, business travelers from Asia, and neighbors from Canada are all staying away. Ticket sales from Canada are down 21%, and bookings from Germany and the Netherlands have dropped by double digits. These aren't just numbers, they're lost jobs, empty hotel rooms, and missed opportunities for cultural exchange. The U.S. Travel Association's optimistic forecasts have been upended. The absence of these visitors is felt everywhere, from national parks to city streets. The economic and social impact is massive. The empty airports are a stark sign of America's growing distance from the world. One big reason for empty airports? Fewer flights. Major airlines worldwide have slashed U.S. routes due to weak demand. Air France, KLM, Lufthansa, and Emirates have all cut flights to American cities. Canadian airlines have pulled back sharply with over 320,000 fewer seats between Canada and the US carriers like United and Delta are also reducing domestic and international schedules. Fewer tourists mean fewer flights, and fewer flights make it even harder for tourists to come. When airlines cut routes, it can take years to restore them. This isn't just a summer blip, it's a structural change. Travelers face fewer choices and higher prices, airports lose revenue, and local businesses suffer. The cycle of cuts and declining demand is hard to break. The decision by airlines to fly elsewhere is a major reason for the quiet terminals. The impact could last well beyond this summer. The sharp drop in foreign visitors is at the heart of the crisis. Once bustling airports and arrival halls now echo with emptiness, a stark contrast to the crowds of previous years. The absence of international travelers is being felt everywhere, from the moment you step off the plane to the city streets that used to teem with tourists. In March 2025, arrivals fell nearly 12% from last year, and the decline is expected to worsen. Industry experts warn that this is just the beginning, as global uncertainty and shifting travel patterns continue to impact the flow of visitors. Canadians, once the largest group of visitors, are staying home or traveling elsewhere. The familiar sight of Canadian families and tour groups is now rare, and their absence is being felt by hotels, restaurants, and attractions across the country. Land border crossings at places like Niagara Falls are down over 40%. Local businesses that depend on cross-border traffic are struggling to stay afloat, and the ripple effects are being felt throughout the region. European travelers are also skipping the US, with bookings from Germany and the Netherlands dropping sharply. The decline in European visitors is especially troubling for cities that have long relied on their spending and enthusiasm for American culture. Cities like New York and San Francisco, which rely on international tourism, are feeling the pain. Iconic landmarks and popular attractions are noticeably quieter, and local guides and tour operators are seeing fewer bookings than ever before. While there's growth from Japan and Argentina, it's not enough to offset the losses from Canada and Europe. The small uptick in visitors from these countries is a bright spot, but it pales in comparison to the overall decline. The overall trend is clear. Fewer foreign visitors, quieter airports, and struggling tourism businesses. Souvenir shops and information desks that once buzzed with activity now sit idle, waiting for travelers who may not come. The US is losing its appeal as a top destination. The reasons are many, ranging from economic uncertainty to changing visa policies and global competition for tourists. The reasons are complex, but the result is unmistakable. The once crowded corridors and bustling terminals now feel almost abandoned, a visual reminder of the challenges facing the industry. The international arrival halls are emptier than ever. For many, this is a wake-up call about the fragility of the tourism sector and the urgent need for solutions. The tourism crisis is real and growing. Without a turnaround, the impact will be felt not just by businesses, but by entire communities that depend on the steady stream of foreign visitors. Why are tourists staying away from the United States, a country once considered the ultimate travel destination? The answer is simple, yet troubling. Cost is a huge factor, and it's only getting worse. Flights, hotels, and food in the US are more expensive than ever before, with prices rising faster than in many other countries. In New York, hotel rooms now average over $400 a night, while in Miami, the average is over $350. Even mid-range hotels in smaller cities have seen significant price hikes. Airfares to and within the US are up 18% to popular destinations, making it harder for families and solo travelers alike to justify the expense. And it's not just flights and hotels, car rentals and meals have soared, with rental prices sometimes doubling, and restaurant bills leaving visitors in shock. For many families, a US vacation is now out of reach, forcing them to reconsider their travel dreams or cancel plans altogether. Travelers are comparing prices and quickly finding better value elsewhere. Destinations in Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, and even parts of Africa offer more for less. South America, too, is attracting budget-conscious tourists with its vibrant culture and affordable experiences, making it a top alternative. As a result, the US is losing its competitive edge in the global tourism market, with fewer international visitors and quieter attractions. Other countries are actively courting visitors, offering enticing deals, lower prices, and special packages to attract global travelers. For many, the US has become a luxury they simply can't afford, no matter how much they want to visit. High costs are driving tourists to cheaper, equally exciting destinations, where their money goes further and experiences are just as memorable. In a world where every dollar counts and travelers are more budget-conscious than ever, price matters more than ever before. The high cost of a US holiday is now a major barrier, turning away visitors who might have once dreamed of seeing America. Until prices become more reasonable, it's a key reason so many are choosing to go elsewhere, seeking adventure and value beyond US borders. It's not just about money. America's image has changed. Around the world, the US is seen as less welcoming than before. Political tensions, stricter border rules, and negative headlines have created a closed image. Tourists want to feel welcome. If they expect hassles or hostility, they'll go elsewhere. The drop in Canadian visitors is tied to both high prices and political friction. Some Canadians are even boycotting the US in protest. News of tough immigration enforcement and political division makes travelers nervous. Even if most visitors have no trouble, the perception alone is enough to deter many. This chilling effect is real and powerful. America once promoted itself as open and friendly, but that image is fading. Rebuilding trust will take more than ads. It requires real change. Until then, many tourists will keep their distance. The impact of empty airports ripples through the entire economy. Hotels face empty rooms and layoffs, especially in tourism hubs like Orlando. Restaurants, cafes, and bars lose customers and cut staff. Retail stores and malls see sales drop as tourists stop shopping. Attractions, Theme parks, museums, national parks struggle with fewer visitors and lower ticket sales. Transportation suffers. Taxi drivers, ride shares, and tour buses all lose business. Even farmers supplying food to hotels and restaurants feel the pinch. Billions in lost tourism revenue means less tax money for schools, roads, and public services. Cities like San Francisco and states like Hawaii and Florida are especially hard hit. The pain is widespread, affecting workers and communities nationwide. The empty airports are a warning sign of deeper economic trouble. The tourism crisis touches every corner of America. Everyone feels the loss. The US isn't alone. Other pricey destinations like Croatia, Iceland, and Switzerland are also seeing fewer tourists. Globally, travelers are seeking better value for their money. Cheaper destinations like Albania and Portugal are booming as people look for affordable adventures. But America's crisis is unique. It's not just about cost. Airline cuts and a less welcoming image make things worse. The sharp drop in Canadian visitors is tied to political issues, not just price. The US faces a complex mix of challenges that other countries don't. High prices, fewer flights, and a damaged reputation are all at play. The global travel market is changing fast. America can't assume tourists will always come. To compete, the US must address both cost and its image. This isn't just a summer slump, it's a deeper shift in global travel. Airline route cuts and new tourist habits may last for years. The US tourism industry faces a long, tough adjustment. Political and economic issues won't be fixed overnight. Travelers are booking later, uncertain about the future. Tourism is vital for the economy and for building global connections. The current decline threatens both American jobs and cultural exchange. Billions in lost revenue and a shrinking soft power presence are at stake. The empty airports of 2025 are a wake-up call. Massive airline cuts, fewer foreign visitors, high prices, and a less welcoming image have created a perfect storm. The loss of 3 million visitors is hurting every state. America must act now to win back travelers and restore its place as a top destination. The future of a vital industry, and America's global standing, depends on it.